Wow.
Okay,
Hello?
and there we go. Better when the microphone is on. Hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl Vargas, and I'm the owner of Studio 928. And we're so happy to have you here with us today, another credit acceptance group. Now, we've got about, I don't know, 25 people here right now, but you've got 80 signed up. So we're going to go ahead because we actually are recording this. So anyone who hasn't shown up by now will be able to see the recording later on. I'm going to send it off to Cynthia Burton, and she's going to share it with those people. So for the people who are here now, welcome. And we're so excited to paint with you today. I'm here with my producer, Shelby. She's in the background. If you have any questions or have any technical issues, you can just post a question in the chat and she'll take care of it for you. And she's also our trivia master. So I hope you brought your thinking caps and most importantly, I hope you brought some little sip to go with your paint today because we did Friday. So cheers to everybody out there. We're really excited to paint with you today. It's one of the few times that we get to actually do art is when we paint with you. So it's just as much fun for us as we hope it is for you. So to get started, I want to just check and make sure you have everything you need. So the first thing you should have is a cellophane envelope like this. That'll have everything you need. This looks like a business card, but it's actually a magnet. So don't throw that away. It's a refrigerator magnet, okay? So you can think of us fondly after this event. And then on the inside of this should be your carbon paper, which is this black paper. And there's a shiny side and there's a dull side. Okay, you want to remember that because with the shiny side is the business end, and that's what's going to go down on your canvas, okay? Because we're going to trace our image from using the tracing paper with the image on top, okay? So we're going to use this image, and we're going to put that, or the tracing paper on top of the carbon paper. And then last but not least, you should have a canvas. Now, I'm using a canvas board because I paint quite a bit, so I use a less expensive option, but you actually have a canvas with 4 sides. Now, the 4 sides is where you're going to continue your painting, so the color goes on top, of course, but you want to finish the edges too. So when I say paint like yellow over here, we're going to continue that color on the sides, so that when you hang your painting, which I'm sure you'll want to, it looks finished, okay? So let's see what else. So you should have a number 14 brush that's flat, that looks like this. It's a flat brush, and we use that for making straight lines. And you should also have a number 12 brush that's round and kind of pointed because we use that to get into tight areas. But yours should be brand new. Mine's are a little used. And you should also have a palette knife. Palette knife is what we use to dip into the paint. Okay, and I'll say like, oh, you know, you need like a half a teaspoon or something like that. So I hope you guys bake a little bit. So you'll get those references. But we also have another camera so that you'll be able to see how much paint I'm mixing. And then also you should have a pen or a pencil so we can do the tracing. Some water. So I have my recycled dog cans. See how new decorative they are. And then paper towels. Should have some paper towels. And maybe you could even have an old towel laying around. I also use towels. And also a palette tray. So we've given you 2 of these so that you can mix your dark colors on one and then your light colors on the other one. And you'll see when I change up. So I have to do all these things, all this inventory kind of stuff so we can just relax and drink some wine and have fun. Oh, and also your paints. Got to have paints, right? So I don't think I gave you green because these 2 colors, yellow, the phthalo blue and yellow, make the most beautiful green you've ever seen. Nothing that you can just like pour from a manufacturer. Mixing these 2 together is going to give us this beautiful green that you see in the painting. And then of course you should have black, white, a little bit of purple because we only have 1 spot on the painting that we're doing in purple. And then, yeah, red and some other colors, right? So yeah, so we're so excited to see you. Oh, wait, I can't actually see you because I don't have my glasses on. So I was cute for that minute. Now for the real. So here I am. Now I can see you all. Hi, Jen, Allison, Veronica, Ashley, Jordan. What are you doing over there? Ashley, another Ashley, Regina, hi. Megan, hi. Raquel, hi, Maya. And Brittany and Kim, hi. And Megan and Danny. And I guess, how many do we have in total now? 27. Okay, so I cannot see everybody. I have to scroll to see everybody, but I hope everybody will chime in and do some trivia with us a little bit later. Oh, okay, I see you, Natalie, and yeah, that's about it. I think other people have their cameras off. So if you guys are ready to get started, I sure am. Like I said, here's to you, happy holidays, and I'm gonna take the first sip to get things started. Here's to you, Shelby. The best production assistant ever. Okay, so now, oh yeah, you need to take this stuff out of the envelope. If I didn't mention that, you got to whip that out. So open it up, get the reference image. This is your reference image, okay? So you're going to keep this in front of you. So if I say, hey, we're going to paint this, then you're going to look at that area. You're going to look at my color mixing, but you're also going to look at this image so that you can start training your eye to see that reference image and transfer what you see to the canvas, okay? So go ahead and whip all that out. Get your tracing or your carbon paper and your canvas and get that down in front of you. So we're gonna put the shiny side down to the canvas, all right? I'm gonna say that again, shiny side down to the canvas. One more time, shiny side down. If you don't put the shiny side down, you're gonna do a lot of tracing with 0 results, okay? So don't do that. All right, so lay that down and we're gonna line up that carbon paper to the left edge of the canvas. Then we're gonna take the tracing paper and do the same thing. Okay, now we're not gonna trace the whole thing. So don't worry about that. We're just gonna trace a portion of this. So get your pen or your pencil. And what we're gonna trace is this line. Okay, so let me show you again with using this. So we are tracing this line just like that. Okay, then we're gonna trace this line on the other side. Okay, that's what we're gonna do first. That's the only thing we're gonna do for now. All right, so I will, of course, demonstrate this for you. So I'm taking my pen and when I'm working, oh, check to make sure you have the shiny side down, please. Everybody pick up one edge, look and see and make sure there's a shiny side and it's facing down towards the canvas. Everybody good? All right, okay, good. All right, so now I'm just gonna lay my hand right here, you know, rest on the side of my hand. And I'm just gonna start right in the center and then move out that way. Cause then my hand is like it's almost like a compass itself. It's just gonna pivot out in that direction. So I'm gonna put the pen down and I'm just gonna trace. You don't have to press too hard. Medium pressure is fine, and just follow that line all the way around. Then do the same thing in the other direction. Just follow that line. Don't worry about the other things you're overlapping. It doesn't matter. Right now, the only thing we're doing is we're tracing this line. So you can lift up your hand and then move it and then start on the other side. Okay. Now we can just pick up this line, continue it on the other side, like this. And just go all the way down. Oops. And hold on just a second. Okay, so you notice here how the carbon paper is not under this. So I'm going to have to lift up. I'm going to hold down here and I'm going to lift this up and move my carbon paper. And then I'm just gonna line everything up that I've already drawn. See, I've got my line started. Now I'm gonna line it up again. And then I'm gonna slip this underneath like that. And I'm gonna finish my little twirly thing. What would you call this? The staff? Is this the music staff, Shelby? Shelby's a violinist, so she knows all that technical stuff. And then we're gonna follow this all the way around and just go straight down all the way to this bottom edge. And now I'm gonna hold down my paper and I'm gonna move this carbon paper around to the other side, okay? If you move your paper around and you miss, or, you forget where you are, just go ahead and line it up again. Just go ahead and line it up. Yes. Monica, how can I help you? Monica, you need help? I'm gonna unmute you. I see you talking, but I can't hear anything.
Oh, sorry. Okay, when I was looking at my brushes, I have 2 flat brushes instead of 1 flat and 1 round. Does that matter?
Well, it's gonna make it a little more challenging, I think, to get into some small spaces, but I will address that. Thanks for letting me know. And yeah, we'll fix that for you.
I'll work it out.
For now, you don't. I mean, most of the painting is done with a flat brush. Okay, so I will show you how you can use the flat brush to get in smaller spaces. Okay, we apologize for that, that mishap. Okay, so just move your carbon paper to the other side, and now I'm lining everything up, and I'm going to start at this other edge and just keep following this line all the way around. Okay, and that's all we're gonna do for now. That's all we're gonna do. Okay. So, was it Monica? Monica, when we get to a place where you're gonna need to squeeze into an area with your flat brush, I will let you know what you need to do, okay? And again, I apologize for that mishap. All right, so let's see. The first color we're gonna put down is just my favorite color in the world, and that's Phthalo Blue, and then we're gonna get started with some trivia. So you're gonna use your number 14 brush for this, the flat brush, right? So just take your water, and we're just dipping into our water container like this, tapping off the excess water on both sides. And then I'm just gonna lay my brush down for a second. We're gonna pick up our Phthalo Blue and put some of that down on, you know what? On our palette. I'm gonna pick up this other Phthalo Blue. It should be nice and thick for you. We'll put some of that down. Okay, and then maybe we'll add just a tiny bit of white to it. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe off my palette knife and then pick up some white. And I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of white because it helps brighten it. So just a small amount. So if you can see how much I have, it's like 1/4 of the amount of the blue, but don't add it directly to the color. Put it to the side. And now I'm gonna cut this in half. And I'm gonna take half of this white. So very small amount. So if you can see the ratios, a lot more Phthalo Blue than there is white, but it just brightens it up a little bit. And we're gonna put this to the blue area on the canvas. So go ahead and mix those two together with your palette knife. All right, and now I'm gonna pick up that number 14 brush, and it's okay if there's some water, just drop a couple of drops of water because we want our paint to be like the consistency of ink. So it shouldn't be pasty like meringue, you know, thick like meringue. It should be more like egg yolks, I guess. our baking reference. I I know you guys are getting ready for your holiday baking, so just trying to get you ready. All right. So we're gonna take our number 14 brush, and notice how well loaded my brush is. So got paint on both sides, real nice. And so our brush right now has a straight edge. We're gonna use that straight edge, and you're just gonna follow that line. Place down your brush, just take your time, lay it down, and then just pull it along that line, like so. This is how you know you have enough paint in your brush, because it should just kind of glide along the canvas. And if it's not gliding, if it's skipping, that means you might want to just take a little bit more water into your brush and add it to your paint and mix it in. Okay. So yeah, we paint this painting in steps. So I created this painting actually specifically for credit acceptance. I forget who it was. I think it was Chamonix who got in touch with me and said, this group wants to paint, they want to paint another painting that we had. And we've determined that it's a little bit too difficult. So I said, well, let me put something together just for you guys. And so this is what I came up with. And actually now it's one of my favorites. So thank y'all. Okay, so trivia question. Shelby's over here in her toolbox digging one up for you. And notice that I'm rotating my canvas to make it easier for me. You know, you don't have to, sometimes you just need to turn it so that you can, you know, use the technique, use the brush to do your bidding as opposed to struggling to, you know, make a straight line. Let the brush do the work. Let the straight edge of the brush do the work. And it should be nice and wet and move really kind of fluidly around your canvas. Okay, so we have our first trivia question here. It is, where in the United States is the largest aquarium? Is it New Jersey, Maine, California, or Georgia? Where in the United States is the largest aquarium? Any guesses? You can chat it, or you can just like unmute yourself and let's talk, let's party.
Georgia.
In Georgia.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Somebody said, okay, Atlanta,
I was going to say California, but that sounds like I'm wrong.
California. Well, yeah, because it's close to an ocean, so. Oh, it's Georgia. Okay. Had a couple guesses. Anybody been there? Is that why you knew?
I've been there. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Really nice.
Me too. It's really neat.
Nice. Okay, so here as well. So we're still using our flat brush, our number 14. And I heard you guys talking about how, you know, what did you do to prep yourselves for today? Like, did you get an easel or what? And you were like, I put paper down. We have this vision of you guys thinking that paint is just going to fly everywhere. It never happens. But like, yeah, it's a good idea to put a piece of paper underneath because when you get to the edge of your painting, of course, you may overflow a little bit. So. All right, so our next question is, the camera angle here so you can see how I'm pulling this brush along. I'm gonna pick up some more of that paint. And so notice how I just let the edge of the brush do the work. I don't try to, you know, paint from up here and get a straight line like this because you'll never do it, right? So just lay the brush down on its side like this and just let the straight edge of the brush do the work. And then you're just out of the picture. You don't have to worry about the work. Let it do the work for you. Okay. Oh, okay. So who painted the ceiling in the Sistine Chapel? Was it Da Vinci, Van Gogh, Michelangelo, or Picasso? Who painted the Sistine Chapel?
Um,
I go C, Michelangelo.
that was my guess as well.
We'll go down together if it's wrong, Jen.
Thanks, Natalie. It's a good team member to have right there. We go down together.
Crash and burn together.
Yes.
That's right.
And yes, that's the answer, Michelangelo. Ding, 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 ding.
High five. Oh.
So yeah, just keep, and make sure you have enough water on your brush. If it starts to do this where you can see in between, just means you need to add just a little bit of water. And also try to lighten up your stroke at some point. You don't have to press as hard as you might think. So just lighten up your stroke and you'll see less streaks. Also, if you take longer strokes like that, you'll see less streaks. So just one long stroke instead of little strokes like this. Don't do that. Unless, of course, you intentionally want texture in your painting, which that's perfectly okay too. So this is an abstract painting. I call it The Color of Music. And I just love it because I get to use my favorite color in excess, the Phthalo Blue. And I love the treble cleft, you know, the big symbol in the center of the painting. I think it's so beautiful. It's kind of like the ampersand, but it's just more elegant, the treble cleft. So there's my last little corner. Oh, we forgot to mention the blow dryer. If you have a blow dryer, it will come in handy. But perhaps we can do some things. I can change a couple things so you may not need it. We'll see. But again, yeah, just make sure you take some long strokes so you don't get those little brush marks. Just long strokes. Which is the highest grossing Harry Potter film? Is it A Sorcerer's Stone, The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Goblet of Fire, or The Deathly Hallows? 2. Which one is the highest grossing Harry Potter?
Katie, are you in there?
Katie.
Here, but I'm not sure about movies. I think it might be the last one.
Did I mention that if you give a wrong answer, you have to take a sip, right?
I like your style.
Don't tempt us.
Yeah. Kate, whatever Katie says wins.
Did we get any guesses?
Katie said the last one.
The last one, Deathly Hallows 2. Let's see. Yep. Deathly
Oh,
Hallows.
good job, Katie.
Good job, Katie.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see. So how's everybody doing with their background? Let's see what everybody's got. Let me see what you're working with.
I'm far behind you.
Are you?
I'm doing my best.
Oh, wait, there you are. Okay, I can see. Monica, I always see, wait, hold on. Oh, okay. Did anybody hold theirs up? Let's see. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep, digging it. Yep. Right on, right on. Okay, all right, good job. Okay, so if you do have your hair dryer handy when you get done with your lines. Oh, and here, Monica, this is a place where typically I would say move to your number 12 brush, like right in this little spot right here. See this? Okay, but we're gonna master it with the number 14, just for you, right? So I want you to just dip into your water a little bit and then go in with your number 14 brush, get a little paint on both sides. Make sure that it's not too liquidy, that it's a true saturated color on the end of your brush. Okay, so now we're just gonna take off the excess and then we're just gonna use the corner of the brush. So can we get a side angle view of this? Okay, okay. So I'm just gonna touch the edge of my brush like this. See that? So I don't put hardly any pressure. I'm just touching the edge of my brush. So you will be able to accomplish everything we accomplish with the 14. The only difference is you're just going to use this corner, one corner, whichever corner you want, and you'll just do a lighter pressure. So just kind of tapping that color in there. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna grab my blow dry. We're gonna put you on mute for just a second, and then we're gonna trace in some more lines in the center, okay?
Sounds good. Everyone's so quiet. Come on, Natalie, do like a show tune for us or something.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Or get Jeff to play the piano or something.
Yeah, there you go. He took the dog for a walk. I think he was over me today. It's like, oh, good, Friday. I can leave this place.
Get away from her for a minute. Ooh, that's funny.
Today was Christmas songs class and music class today, though, so we heard a lot of like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Aww.
Can't think of what else. Megan got to hear some song about a horse last week.
A horse?
Yeah, like a cowboy on a horse, and
Oh, wow.
the horse goes fast and slow or something. I don't know. Apparently my microphone picks up a lot in my house.
Well, like, how come I don't get to hear this when we have our team calls?
We can schedule them based on his classes.
Okay. I like it.
Ask him when his next kindergarten class is.
Oh my God, that would be so cute to listen to.
They are very cute.
Oh, kids just.
Okay, guys, I'm back. All right. So the reason why it's important to blow dry this, even though we're not going to paint directly on top of this, is because the carbon paper will make a nasty little mess on your canvas if you put it on wet paint. For some reason, when it contacts that acrylic paint, it starts to liquefy, and it's just nasty. You don't want it. Okay. So, all right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to line up our tracing paper. Don't worry, I'm not going to speed through this. I know there are still probably people painting, so that's okay. We're just going to line up everything from before, right? So this time we're not going to paint our treble clef yet. All right, we're gonna do that last because that's the best part, in my opinion. And what we're gonna do is just make these lines that come in, and then that's gonna be our next job, is making these lines on our music staff. Okay. Now I'd like for you to like have fun painting this. Like, don't stress out over it. You know, yeah, I took some colors and I kind of blended them together. There's like orange here that goes into yellow. Then there's black that goes into that phthalo blue. And then this is just like all green, but it goes into the yellow and then the orange. So what we're going to do is what you call like a wet on wet painting technique. So that's how we get these colors to kind of mesh in here together, right? So when we get here, we're going to do all of this in yellow, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time. And then of course, I'll tell you again when we're actually painting. But for now, what we're going to do is just line up our carbon paper, and we're going to make our staff lines like this. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 lines we're going to draw, right? So I'm sliding my paper in. I've lined it up with everything else. I'm going to go as close to the edge as I can. I don't have to go all the way because I know where they are. Okay, make sure you're all lined up. Then I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to start right here with this line. And same thing, you want to keep your hand in place so that when you're making your line, it can't help but kind of go in a straight line because it's, you know, you're like a pivot, or what do you call it? What do we call that, Shelby? I forget. Pendulum. That's what it is. Kind of like a pendulum, yeah. So just go in, get that first line, and then actually this line. Oh, okay, yeah. Then there's this line. And just you're drawing that directly on top of the treble clef. And then following that all the way around. And then last but not least, we got this line on the bottom. And I'm just following that around. Then I'm going to keep my hand down and I'm just going to lift up the right edge to see how I did. Okay, so not too bad, right? So I'm okay to lift that up now. So let's see here. I think we'll start with yellow. Let's start over here in this big area. So the way we're going to hit this is as follows. So we're going to start with our yellow. We're going to use our palette knife and go in and get some yellow and put it down on our palette tray. In fact, let's start a new palette tray because that's a lighter color. Actually, let's not. Let's not, because we're going to use that. We're going to use that blue to make some green, you know. So yeah, so we're going to start over here with our yellow. We're going to give all of this yellow all the way. So this is our black line, this is our orange. We're going to go to the second line with yellow, and we'll stop about right here. So we're going to get this all wet. Then we're going to go in with some orange on top of that, and then some green on top of that. Okay, so the idea is just to keep everything wet so they blend together, right? So let's go ahead and get the palette knife, and I'm going to pick up some yellow. Put that down. Let me get a lot of it. Then I'm going to rinse off that number 14. And we painted with blue. So unless you want your yellow to turn green right away, why don't you go pour that water out, or just bring another cup of water so you have 2 cups to work with. Okay, so I have 2. So I'm going to go rinse this one out and pick up some yellow. Now I'm going to drop a few drops of water down here first. Oops, that's got a little green, blue in it. Just a second. Because we want to make this wet. And our colors are going to blend a lot better if we're making sure the canvas stays wet. Okay, so now I'm dripping some clean water over here. And I think I'm going to take my palette knife and add a little white to this, just to brighten it a little bit, okay? So grab your white and just take out like a little dot. Put it to the side. And then I'm going to mix it in a little bit with my yellow. Just to brighten it. Still be like a really bright, intense yellow. Just give it a little more tooth. Okay, so that's nice and wet. Oh, and we have a trivia question. Portugal is bordered by what other country? Is it France, Brazil, Germany, or Spain?
Spain.
Spain. Well, instant answers. All right. Is that a consensus? Yep, that's it. All right, good job. All right, so I'm making this into ink, okay? We don't want it, and I still have some blue in my brush batch. Oh, that's okay, all right. So you can see already it's making green, and I'm not even trying to. because of the blue left in my brush, but it's still bright, so that's okay, and it's the good consistency. So I'm going to go ahead and lay some green or some yellow down, and actually I might as well start over here since I got green in my brush, right? So I'm going to start right here and just use the edge of my brush to finish in this line. Just go ahead and overlap that actual line that you see. And again, make sure your paint is nice and wet when you're putting it down. And then carry that all the way over to the other side. And long strokes. Use long strokes. And I'm dipping into my water so that my paint stays moist. I know people hate that word, and I'm sorry, but it's the only word I can use. It has to stay wet. Oh, and there's a trivia question. So what is the only edible food that never expires? Is it white rice, honey, rye, or barley? It never expires, folks.
Oh, honey.
I think honey, yeah.
We had honey, okay.
I'm gonna say white rice.
I think it's honey.
Honey.
Those bees know what they're doing.
Those bees, they've been around for a while, huh? Same here. Same thing here
Oh,
too.
that's wrong.
The edge of my brush, and just kind of following that line all the way around. Okay. Now our job is to make sure that we're moving fast enough on this yellow so that we can wet this entire area with yellow, and then come back with our next color so that it blends in really, really well. Okay, because it's still wet. Now, if you have to just wet your brush and overlap some of the strokes you already made, that's cool too. And the answer was honey. Yes, it is. It's honey. It's honey. It's honey. They found honey in Egyptian tombs that was still edible. So that's pretty cool, huh? All right, so that's all wet. Now I'm going to go now and pick up some red and move it in with my, or do you have orange? Do you have orange or do you have red?
Red.
You have red? Okay, cool. All right, so pick up a little red on the tip of your brush like this much. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this into my yellow. And I'm going to get a light pastel-y orange. And I'm going to wipe off most of the paint. And I'm going to start here. And I'm just going to make some light strokes. And this is very light strokes. So I'm not pressing down really hard, just very lightly. And I'm looking at my reference image. You can too. And we're just trying to blend these together really light. When you get to the edge, just barely touching the edge. So it doesn't have to be perfect because this is abstract, but just lighten your stroke. Now here, when we get to this area, let's get a little heavier with the stroke. So just one more pass. And now I'm gonna clean my brush entirely. I'm shaking out the excess water in my cup, my can, and I'm gonna pick up just some red. I'm drying off my brush, and I'm just gonna pick up some red with the tip of my number 14. And I'm turning my canvas around because it's more comfortable. Feel free to do that. I noticed when you guys were talking about that, the first thing I think is that people always think you need an easel to paint with, you know, so you could do art. You don't need that. I think people want to use the easel because it makes them feel more like artists, and that's okay, but it's not a requirement. That's all. So, and right here, I'm really doing really light strokes. So this kind of merges into that orange. You see that? So it's not a hard line between these two colors because I use really light stroke. Now I'm just going to go in, and I think we stop right here. We should have made a line right there. Here, I'll do this. So we're just going to make this red, all the way red, right to the end. So just stop there. If you're not sure where that line should stop, just stop right here. Looks like it's about, what, an inch, half an inch, I mean. So let's just do that. Which
I just want to share with everyone, wow,
Yeah,
I'm in training and I cannot follow directions because I painted the whole
was
thing
it Citibank, Credit Acceptance, PayPal, or US Bank? Which prior company did the founders of YouTube work for? Citibank, Credit Acceptance, PayPal, or US Bank?
Hey, pal.
Good answer. Any other guesses?
Ah,
It was PayPal indeed.
it's a good guess.
Okay, now we're still wet over here on the other side. So I'm gonna just give myself make it a little wetter. I'm gonna make sure it's wet. And I'm actually gonna come right in here. And now I'm gonna take just a tiny bit of my yellow and just put it in the center of my palette. And now I'm gonna take a dot of phthalo blue. Okay, so watch how much I add to the yellow. It's just a little dot of phthalo blue. You see that? And we're gonna mix, look at that nice green. Isn't that pretty? So I'm just gonna mix those two together. Maybe I'll put just a tiny bit more blue until you get the green you like. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over to my green side, okay, because now we're on the green. And I'm just gonna look at that, real nice. And let's put the dark part of the green against the line here. And then we can just kind of lightly stroke the rest of that. So if your stroke lightens, then it'll blend. It'll be like, you can't tell the difference. You can't tell where one ends and the other one begins. Kind of. And then when you get down here, then you can get more green. And then I think now I'm gonna make some deeper green. So I'm gonna take some more phthalo blue, more than before. And now I'm gonna make a really deep green. I'll add a little bit more yellow to them. Okay. Then we're using that number 14 brush. We're just gonna finish that green to the end of the staff. So I think I'll go like right here with this green. And I'm just using the end of my brush to create that line. And as you get to the top of this, you just want to lightly stroke. So when these two colors meet, it's just lighter strokes so you don't get that hard division between the two colors. Now I have quite a bit of paint on my brush, so I'm gonna pull some of it off the edge of my brush so it doesn't spill over on my painting. And then I think we have a trivia question sitting here. Oh, okay, so turquoise is the birth month, or is the birthstone for which month? Is it January, May, September, or December? Turquoise. It's one of my favorite colors. Beautiful color.
I should know this. My birthday's in December. I think it's December.
Really?
That's a wonderful
I was
book.
gonna say September.
So I'm just using my 14 and I'm just using that straight edge, just pull that along that line so I get a nice straight line. Now we're going to get into that small area again. So just like I showed Monica a little while ago, when you have to get into a small edge, small area, then you just turn your brush on its side, okay? And then I'm just going to tap that color in there. Just barely touch it. And now I'm going to flip my canvas upside down. And I'm going to get the other edge. So that's how you get the straight edge, just by using your brush. Make it do the work. So you don't have to. And then I use it here as well. Now, if I want to take this line right here and really blend it in well, all I have to do is rinse off my brush. Rinse it off all the way. And then just leave enough, or tap it to your paper towel. So here, I put it on my paper towel and I let the paper towel drink the excess water out. And then I just kind of lightly touch these two color areas right here. I'm just going to lightly touch them so they kind of blur. You can't tell where one starts and the other one begins. And I'm wiping off the paint I just lifted off the canvas. Very lightly. These are super light strokes. And I'm wiping that off. Wiping. There, so it's more gradual. All right, my next color. What's our next color? And what's our next trivia? Okay, let's see. So we got green. Oh, we got our phthalo blue and black. So now we're going to go right next to that green. And we're going to do our phthalo blue. We're going to go up in this direction. And then it gets to be black right here. So however you merge these two colors, that's up to you. But just remember that your treble clef is going to start right here. So if you want it to be a contrasting color, just keep that in mind, all right? Now what we could do, let me think, to make this more simple for you, because it might get confusing where you need to stop. If you do black all the way through here, it'll be difficult to paint over. So that's why I'm stopping to address this issue. How about if we do this? I know what to do. Let's do this line right here, the bottom one. Then we'll go in and put our treble clef. Okay, so we'll do this line. We'll paint this in, dry it off. Then we'll do our treble clef. Then we'll do the black and the blue. Does that make sense? Okay, well, I hope so. Nobody's answering me. You guys are on mute though, so you can, and I'd love for you can talk if you like. Okay, so who won the Grammy for the Best Singer and Album Award in 2017? Was it Adele, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Kelly Clarkson? Who was it? Who did it?
Adele.
Adele.
Adele. Lots of Adele answers. Yes, Adele it was. Ding, 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 ding. Good job. All right. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and paint our orange. All right, we're going to take some of that orange that we already made. I'm cleaning out my brush, tapping off the excess water, and then I'm just going to go and pick up some orange here. Loading both sides of my brush so that it becomes like a chisel. You see that? It's like a chisel now. It's straight edge, right? So we're going to go, we're starting here, and we're going to go about halfway down. Okay, and again, we're using the straight edge to create a straight line. And then I'm going to turn my canvas over. And again, I'm just using a straight line. And the cool thing about drying this is that we get to give this orange another coat after it dries. It's one of those colors that just takes more than one coat. Then that's the nature of acrylic paint anyway. You always have to do more than one coat, no matter how expensive your paint is. Okay, I'm gonna rinse off my brush. I'm picking up yellow now. So I'm just picking up some pure yellow and I'm blending it in with my orange. I'm gonna start on this side, so it's pure yellow. And then I'm gonna push my yellow into my orange. So it's gradual. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and use my straight edge, my number 14 brush, and just continue to the edge. And then I'm gonna go into high blow drying mode. Let you guys get a chance to catch up if you're not here yet. And then we'll come back and trace our treble clef. And let's put a real doozy of a question up there for them to ponder while we're gone, Shelby. And take a sip. Here we go.
I'm grateful for whoever suggested newspaper because I was feeling pretty bold about this, but I've already got paint all over my hands, arms, hands.
It's okay, you're supposed to when you're painting, Natalie.
Okay.
My hands look like a Jackson Pollock, so I'm there with you.
I really can't wait to show you guys mine. It's not look anything like what it's supposed to. But I'm having fun.
Yeah, same here, Jen. Same here.
Okay, good. I went rogue.
I'm feeling double challenged here because I'm trying to do it as a left-handed person.
Oh,
I heard that about somebody going rogue. That's okay though, because the first time I went to one of these things, I went. Who was that? I want to know.
Not drinking, but I feel like I do better if I do drink, but I'm not drinking.
I know, that's
the problem.
Is the person who went rogue off camera?
Oh, no, I'm here.
Oh, you are? Okay, Jen, I want to see. Oh, okay, yeah, you went splashy rogue.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's like impressionistic.
Yeah.
Well, I accidentally painted the whole thing yellow, and then I was like, well, let's try. I can't do the fancy other stuff, so.
Cool. Yeah, the first time I went to one of these, you can put me on, Shelby. The first time I went to one of these, because I had to just, I figured this is what I want to do. They put wine and paint together. Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
I said, I have to figure out how this is done. So the first one I went to was this nude male paint and sip. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, you
Really?
you got to pick a good one. So I went, and I was so surprised that, what they were painting and how they were painting, there was like no real instruction or anything. So I was kind of disappointed because, yes, I wanted to paint a naked man and drink wine, but at the same time, I wanted to, look around a little bit,
But also learn, yeah.
Yeah. So needless to say, I went rogue. I just painted what I thought I saw, and of course mine looked more like a man, and what they were painting and what the instructor was teaching was a total different thing. But anyway, so good for you going rogue is all I'm trying to say, girl.
Thank you.
All right, so the question is, what is a group of turkeys called? No one's ever gotten this question right. So somebody gets this right. Ding, ding, ding-a-ding-ding. A clutch, a rafter, a brood, or a peep. What is a group of turkeys called?
I think it's brood.
I'd go with rafter.
I was thinking brood, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Has anybody ever gotten, does anybody have a turkey story they want to share?
A turkey story.
Because I actually have a turkey story, so I just, and I've run into groups before where people were like, yeah, turkeys are murderous, so.
Not a real good one. We just have friends that always joke about drinking wild turkey. So one day I was driving home from work and there was literally a gaggle of turkeys crossing the road. So I took a picture and sent it to my friend.
And were you drinking wild turkey?
No, God, that's awful.
It's a rafter. Someone actually got that. Who was that?
That was me, Marie, and it was a wild ass guess. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Good job.
Run.
Good job. Because it sounds like such an odd option, right? The rafter.
You gave it away when you said no one ever gets it right, and the other three sounded plausible.
Ah.
Nice deduction.
Well, good job. Good job.
You've got a bunch of people who write tests for a living here, so we know
really?
a bad distractor.
You guys write tests? Like what kind of tests?
For our training classes, at the end of training, they have to take tests. So you have to write,
Cool.
quiz questions, all that good stuff.
That's cool. All right. So you guys, who's still putting down color? Do we need to wait? Have you done blow drying? Okay, so I'm not hearing anything, so I think it's go ahead and go start. So we're doing that thing again where we line this up, right? And we're gonna go now and draw in everything else. Okay, I tell you what, how about this? Let's just do the treble clef. Then everything right of the treble clef, we're not gonna paint, right? Because my main concern is that you don't have any problems making this transition from black to blue here. So yeah, the only thing we're gonna go ahead and draw in our treble clef, but not anything to the right of the treble clef, right? Then we'll be good. Because otherwise we'll be trying to paint these little tiny little sections here if we draw the notes on. So let's not do that. So let's go ahead, and so each time I paint this, I learn something new, so that's why. It's not like I've never painted before, just haven't painted this a lot. I actually want to paint this in a huge format, a size format. All right, so now we're going to do our treble clef. So go ahead and line everything up, get your tracing paper and carbon paper all lined up, and let's get that treble clef in there. Make sure you follow those curves so they're nice and smooth. And then when we paint the treble clef, I want you to make sure that you use the straight edge of your brush and then do light strokes with a light pressure so you don't go out of your lines, so you don't ruin your beautiful treble clef.
Yeah, they're teaching us how to draw.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Shiny side down. Make sure you got your shiny side down because you don't want to do this whole tracing and then there not be anything there. You just follow that around. Now you'll see where your treble clef will sit. And all around, don't forget. And then if you need to check what you've done, you know, just keep one hand down and just lift up your edge like that, and you'll be able to see. So I'm checking. We get this inside little curve. And follow that around. And then I think I'm done. Yep, all done. All right. So now the first thing I want to do is pick up black. And I'm going to bring out a new palette. And pick up some black with my palette knife. I think it's that little circle on the top. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. We will get that circle made. What you can do is we can use the base of one of your containers, and we're just going to put that little dot right there to the right of or to the left of the treble clef. Okay, then you're just going to paint that dot black. If you haven't gotten there, just go ahead and trace that in. And there we go. Okay, so I got my black paint down, and I'm going to start, or maybe I should start with my blue. I think I'll start with the blue because, yeah, we'll start with the blue. We'll start here. We'll add a little white to the blue so it's lighter right there. And then we'll go darker blue, and then we'll go to black. Of course, we're not messing with our treble clef. We're just painting around it, right? So instead of starting with black, we're going to start with that phthalo blue that I mentioned. And actually, I'm just going to move this to the side. And I'm going to add just a little bit of white to my phthalo blue. So I'm picking it up on both sides of my number 14. So see, Monica, we're using this awful lot. And actually, you just showed me that I really don't even need to send two brushes. We probably can just do it with this one brush. But yeah, that number 12 brush is a great brush to have. These are art student quality brushes. That number 12 brush can be used because it can paint in small spaces, the very tip of it, so that's very helpful. But then it's also like a great calligraphy type of a brush too. I'm just gonna lighten this up a little bit. And yeah, a little lighter. I'm gonna go a little lighter. I want more contrast. So let's, because we got this dark blue, dark phthalo blue right here. So I'm gonna put some, this is lighter. This is like a baby blue. How pretty that is. And I'm flipping that over so I can use my other straight edge of my number 14. And then I'm just gonna tap with the edge of my brush, this little small area here. Very light strokes, don't press down too hard. And you can also like straighten out any, or paint right over those carbon lines too. And actually, I just noticed I have a line going right there. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. And now I'm going to add some more just pure phthalo blue to the edge of my brush. The color of the ocean. So pretty. Such a wonderful color. And just laying that color down, just kind of marvel in the whole idea of color. Like it's here for us to play with and manipulate, like we're creators. which we are. We're creators. You just enjoy that color. Okay, so which U.S. state makes the most beer per capita? Is it Michigan? Hey, Michigan. California, Oregon, or New Hampshire? Which one makes the most beer?
Yeah, you gotta know that one, don't you?
I feel like I should know this one.
No, I was thinking the same. I feel like I should know this, but the per capita throws me off. I'm still gonna say California.
California.
I guess
I was gonna say Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's my guess.
We have a lot of breweries.
Do you?
Thankfully, none of them are open right now, but yeah.
New Hampshire?
Ew.
Really? That's interesting.
Huh.
Never would have thought that.
Never. So again, we're in one of those small areas again now. So I'm just using the tip. I'm turning my brush on its side, and then I'm just kind of tapping into that small area. And you can see where I kind of went over my treble clef. But that's okay, because I think it's blue anyway, kind of bluish purple, so I'm okay. But if I didn't like that and I wanted to erase it, I'm going to show you how you would erase it. Okay, so there's my blue, and then I think I have blue on the other side too. Yeah, I think I have blue on the other side, all the way up to the inner corners. Oh, first let me show you how you would erase this. So if you had a problem like that and you wanted to erase it, you would need some clean water. So you shake your brush, clean it off, get all that paint out of it, and then make sure it's a little bit wet, just a little bit, and see how it just kind of dissolves the paint. And then you wipe, and then you stroke again. And that's how you erase. But I'm gonna make it this color anyway, but I'm just doing this so you guys can see how you can erase if you need to. Just wipe your brush after each erase stroke. And there you go. And so now I'm gonna add a little bit more Phthalo Blue to my brush, make sure it's a nice consistency of ink. And no water dripping out of it. And I'm just gonna lay in some of that beautiful Phthalo Blue just with the edge of my brush. And I'm turning my canvas so I can get a better angle on it. And I'm just tapping in with the edge of my brush. Now, with that said, what I said earlier, you can also use a number 12 for this. Those of you who've had a number 12 can use your number 12 for this small area. And let me just show you how you would do that. You would wet your brush, and it should have a nice point like this. See the nice point, right? So then you just take that tip and you just roll it into the corner or to the color. And make sure the color is saturated. There's enough balance of color and water. And then you just tap into that area. Okay, I know people are enjoying it when it gets really quiet like this. Like, I am in the painting zone. I am an artiste. Yes, I am. Yes,
Lots of concentration.
Okay, which popular alcohol is made from fermented rice? Is it wine, beer, whiskey, or sake?
Sake.
Sake too.
Oh.
How did I get yellow paint on my canvas? I am so messy. Like, don't ask me to come over your house and help you paint. I'll be doing most of it when I leave. Jeez. Just out of the blue. Just So same kind of erasing kind of procedure here, but then also I guess I can just go in with some blue on top. Okay. So now I'm going to go in and pick up my Phthalo Blue for this inner area. Yeah, we're going to paint this inner area right here. Right? Let me see. Wait. Okay. Yeah, we're painting that blue. Okay, and then we're doing a light blue, like with a lot of white in it right here. Right? So that's what I'm painting right now. And I'm only painting this little area. We already put the green and the orange there. So all we're painting is blue. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my canvas around because it's more comfortable that way. You should feel free to do that too. And what caused Frida Kahlo to become an artist? Was it her father's death, meeting Picasso, a traffic accident, or a dream? What caused Frida to be an artist?
Dream.
Yeah. Seems very artistic.
Any other guesses? Okay. It was a traffic accident.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, in Mexico when she was a girl.
Huh.
I don't know, 15 years old or something like that. And she was in a trolley car. And I mean, it like almost, it did impale her. One of the, the bars they used for people to hold on came off. Anyway, that's why she was in traction most of her life. So she couldn't get out of bed. So her father, who was got her painting materials and everything and pencils, and that's what she did. She drew.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a great movie with what's her name? Selma Hayek. She plays Frida. It's a good movie, really good movie. Okay, so our next color is black, and we're gonna do it right there. So just go willy-nilly with some black right here. Okay, I'm gonna bring my black palette back, and I'm just gonna wet my brush, because as you can see, if you don't have enough water in your brush, your bristles fly apart, and you don't want that. You want your bristles laying together. See, so when you don't have enough water in it, they spread, which is not going to give you a straight line. Okay, so make sure that it's got enough water in it for that, and then load on both sides. Make it a nice consistency of ink. And make sure the color is saturated. You don't want drippy, thin paint going onto your canvas. And now we get to go ahead and do some black right here. When you start putting black on your canvas with all these other really bright kind of colors, they just pop. It's just one of those enjoyable little things you get to do as an artist. So now we're going to get into this small area. So we're going to use the straight edge first. Pull that color out to the edge of the canvas. Whoop, oops, yeah, it fall. And then if you have trouble here, again, we're turning this brush on its side, or you can use your 14 or 12 and then just kind of dab in with the very tip of those bristles to get that little area, that little small area. And now I'm turning again so I can use my straight edge of my 14 to get this straight line. And voila, we have it down. Let's go ahead and if you haven't made your little circle, what I did was I took the bottom of one of our paint containers and I just kind of drew a circle around the bottom. And that's how I got my little dot right there. So you can go ahead and do that. And again, you want to just use using the edge of that number 14 now to follow that line. And just stop, lift it off, turn. And what do you think is the most common birthday in the US? Is it February 14th, July 21st, September 9th, or November 23rd? Which is the most common birthday in the United States?
July 21st.
Yeah.
I'm going with November.
Oh, because that's a February.
I agree with Jordan.
November.
November.
My birthday is November 22nd.
Uh-oh.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I'm just wondering if I'm just a little off from the most prevalent birthday.
Well, we shall see. Oh, it's September 9th. It's September.
Huh.
9th. That's interesting. So that must be what? That's 9 months from what? What is it? Is it New Year's Eve? It's New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Huh. So that's when all the hanky panky takes place. Okay, I'm trying not to mess up my circle here, guys. Just take a little bit at a time. I'm just using that 14. There we go. That's okay. I'm happy with that. All right. So even if it's a little lopsided, who cares, right? Okay, so we're ready to, let's go ahead and get the rest of our lines on here. Okay. Let's blow dry one more time. Then we won't use our blow dryer anymore. How about that? And then we'll get our music notes. Then we can paint the rest of our black on here. And yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go mute for a second and dry this, and then I'm going to come back. And in the meantime, which popular actor won the Best Actor Award in 2016? Was it Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, or Matt Damon? Discuss amongst yourselves.
I don't think Leo's won one yet, so it's got to be Johnny Depp or Matt Damon.
I feel like it would be Johnny Depp.
Leo did win.
Leo
finally
won. Yeah.
Oh,
Leo's won.
good. He deserves it.
Good.
I call him Leo, like I'm friends with him or something.
Hi, Kim. How's it going?
Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I was laughing because my son peeked through the window and he goes, "Look, it's a regular Da Vinci out there." Piece of work.
What a lovely son.
Mm-hmm. It's his birthday today.
Oh, tell me your birthday.
Oh, wow. He's making his own dinner. I like it.
What a grown up.
Right? I don't know about this, but all right.
Listen, so mine looks like nothing like what she's showing us, so I'm just doing the best I can over here. But I'm having fun.
Absolutely. And I do have a cocktail, which I'm sure is surprising to everyone.
I wish I'd known. Catherine, will you bring me a glass of wine?
I just assumed.
Oh. Should have known better.
Okay, and we're back. We are back now, and we're gonna put our music notes on, and then we can just do black. We're gonna do our treble clefs, but then after that, it's gonna be all black. And then you'll see all your other colors popping out and you'll be so happy. Oh, and then we're gonna do like a powder blue in here. So if you wanna move ahead, like sometimes I move slower just to make sure I don't go too fast. So if you're painting ahead, that's fine. So what we're gonna do here is take that phthalo blue and we're gonna mix it with a lot of white so that we get this contrast like this, all right? So go ahead, and if you wanna go ahead, you can do that. But right now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our music notes and all along the staff, and then this bar. What do you call this bar right here? I never care. The bar. It's called the bar. We're gonna do the bar, and then we'll do our treble clef. Okay. So just line up. Oh yeah, what's the answer, you guys? Did you guys guess?
I said Johnny Depp.
I'll pick Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Natalie said Matt Damon. Anybody else? Nope. She's the lone guess. And the answer is DiCaprio.
Oh,
Wolf of Wall Street.
DiCaprio for that bear movie where he slept.
Oh, Revenant.
God, that was 2016. Holy cow.
I know, it seems like forever ago, right?
Oh my gosh.
All right, so I'm slipping in I lined up everything. I'm slipping in my carbon paper. So now I'm gonna make my music notes and my bar and my notes over here. Okay, so where did my pen go? Here it is. All right, so I got my music note right here. And well, you guys won't know this song, you're too young, but the music notes from this song are from one of my favorites from the 70s, Stairway to Heaven.
Oh.
So if you're a guy, you'll be like, wow, that's cool, man. Yeah, so these first few notes here are from the Stairway to Heaven.
Huh.
Good attention to detail.
I know.
Yeah, that is cool. I love that song.
Oh, you do? You know it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's wild. Okay, cool. Yep. It's one of those songs that, no, I'll be giving away all the age then, right? When I was back in the days when I was in high school, like everybody wanted to play this on their guitar. And so it's just one of those songs that stuck with me over the years. Oh, yeah. Oh, and you know what else? We're gonna trace you. I don't know if you can see it. It's not on here either. So it might be a little challenging to do. But oh yeah, so it's just this little line. So it's this line right here. We need to make sure that's in there. I don't think I traced it in. It's just kind of an overlapping line. All right. I didn't do it right anyway. I'll just paint it in. All right. So I got my music notes on. So that looks really cool. I think I'm going to paint those first. And I'll use my number 14 brush so that you can see it can be done. And I'm going to get the paper towels. And so, yeah, just make sure that your number 14 is like a chisel when you're doing this. It's got to look like a chisel, okay? Like you're going to hammer, you know, chisel rock with it. It's got to be nice and sharp. So go ahead and pick up some of that black. Okay, but make sure your brush is not too wet. Your paint, again, should be the consistency of ink, not too runny, not too thick. Okay, so I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna make this music note. Let me put my reference down. So which herb did the Romans eat to prevent drunkenness? Was it sage, parsley, garlic, or thyme? Which herb did the Romans use to prevent so they could just drink wine all night if they ate this herb?
Interesting.
Sage, parsley, garlic, or thyme?
I'm gonna go with
No guessing?
thyme. I'm gonna say thyme.
Parsley.
Garlic.
Parsley. Somebody, I think Natalie said parsley. What did you say, Megan? Or was it Ashley?
Yeah, I said garlic.
Garlic? That's vampires.
Well, I mean, they would be drinking a lot, but then chase away all the ladies.
Right. All right, let's see what the answer is. It's parsley.
Interesting.
And the first right.
First time we got it right.
I thought garlic too, Ashley.
That's the first time someone got it right, Shelby said. That did not sound good. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm about to show you how to get into this small space if you're on this side. Again, if you have to get into small spaces, we know we have to just turn our number 14 brush on its side, so only 2 or 3 bristles are touching the canvas. Really super light strokes so that we can get into those little spaces. And I'm feeling like my paint color is not saturated enough, meaning it's not intense enough. So I'm going to go back and dip into my black color. I'm going to take off the excess off the edge so it's not dripping on my canvas. And I'm just going to go up like that. And fill in this area. Now, one of the things that you should know about acrylic paint is that, like I said before, no matter how expensive your paint is, you're always going to need to do more than one coat. So I recommend that even when you finish your paint, you go back again and put another layer of paint down to intensify the colors. So again, I'm letting my 14 do all the work, using the straight edge of the brush. And then I'm just following this line. And you can flip your brush over and get that paint on the other side. And then for the straight edge, you just use the tip of your brush and just lightly touch. Okay. Make sure you have enough paint on your brush. Don't push down too hard. Because here's the thing. If you push down hard, you're going to get this. And that's not a thin line, right? So make sure that when you're loading your brush and you're trying to make a straight line, first of all, it has to look like a chisel. Okay. And then you take a light stroke, barely touching it, to get a thinner line. Okay. All right. Oh, we got another trivia question. Which animal produces its own suntan lotion?
What?
Get out, right? The Komodo dragon, the hippopotamus, the elephant, or the alligator. Which one produces its own suntan lotion?
I'm going to say hippopotamus.
You got a hippopotamus.
Elephant.
Got an elephant. And that's it. Those are the brave women. It's a hippopotamus.
Interesting.
Good job. Again, if you're using, you have your number 12, you can also, again, it's just dab into those areas with just the edge of the brush. And if it looks a little fuzzy when you're doing it, that means maybe you don't have enough water. That means that you need a little bit more water to help you make those lines a little more solid. Okay. So, and it's okay if your lines are not exactly thin. They just have to represent what we're trying to portray. That's all. It doesn't have to be exact. And again, I'm just using the edge of my brush. Okay, so what is the most popular holiday? Is it Mother's Day, Easter, Christmas, or Thanksgiving?
Christmas.
We got a Christmas.
I mean, that seems like the obvious choice, but is it a trick?
But is it, right?
Definitely Mother's Day, guys.
See, that's what I got. And the answer is
Christmas. It's my
Christmas.
favorite. It's my
See, I got
favorite.
Mother's Day too.
Who did? Who did?
I don't know who answered that one correctly. Natalie.
Oh, I was just piggybacking on Jen. She got that one.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just trying to throw her.
And I'm turning so I can get this. And then I made a little mistake, so I'm going to go back and erase. But not until I finish this little note off. Okay, so which artist sold the most albums in a single day? Was it Michael Jackson, Elvis, Beyonce, or Stevie Wonder? Michael Jackson, Elvis, Beyonce, or Stevie Wonder?
Let's say Michael Jackson.
We got a Michael in the house.
I'll go Beyonce.
Beyonce. All right, we got 2 out of 4 represented.
Elvis. Ah, I was gonna guess that.
Someone said
You have to take a sip, Jen.
I know. I should know better.
Elvis. Yes, sir. And according to Shelby, the trivia expert over here, he sold all those albums the day after he died.
Yep.
In 1978. No, 1977. 1977. I know, I was there. I was there. All right. All right. So I just have this one little band. I might as well go ahead and do that, right? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I rinsed my brush off so I can have a nice chisel once again. And I'm going to go in and get this little piece right here. So you're going to see all these colors pop now when I put this black band around. Look how cool that is. So relaxing watching the colors touch like this. So as you can see, I get a little art starved running a business. I look forward to these paintings, particularly this one. I like it a lot. Yeah, it just makes all those other colors just pop. And, yeah, let's go ahead and put that down. Again, worry about the edge. If you just take the very tip of your brush, you're going to get those little small areas. Shelby, violin. I am trying to convince her that we need to do a classical music pain and sim where she plays live. I would absolutely love that.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's fancy. I like it.
That is fancy.
It's one of my favorite instruments. I've been so lucky. Like When I lived in Oak Park, I had a neighbor who they were professional violinists and they would play in their attic and open the windows, and I just get to like sit there and listen to it all day.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So we'll see. We were just talking today about it. She's trying to say, well, I'll do the violin if you play guitar. I'm like, no.
Trade-offs.
No. My armpits go into overdrive when I play in front of people. They do. They don't know how to behave in front of people. Okay, what is Russia's most famous animal species? Is it the moose, the snow leopard, the tiger, or the polar bear?
Snow leopard.
Now the snow leopard.
What are you thinking?
Huh.
I was thinking polar bear, but I feel like that's not right.
Listen.
Say moose and squirrel.
Moose and squirrel. Who said that?
Marie.
Marie, you're right. From Boris and Natasha.
Yeah.
Love it.
That was great. I know. Shelby's like, nope, don't you even go there. All right, I'm not going anywhere near it. But that was so funny. Okay.
Oh.
Siberian tiger. Yeah. Whoever said that, you're welcome at all of our parties. All right, so I'm going ahead and getting this real nice, fat, juicy music note out of the way. And just look at that. I just love the way it looks against those other colors. Now here, just a straight line.
Oh, shoot.
And then for those little ones, how did I do those last time? Oh, yeah, I guess I did do it with the number 12. So, Monica, this will be a challenge for you, these little tiny, teeny, tiny ones. But again, you just tap, tap, tap.
You got it, Monica.
You do.
I'm so far off from that.
Girl, so am I. Don't worry about it.
There yet, huh?
I'm not even there yet.
Don't even worry about it.
Right? Just enjoy the process. Just enjoy the paint and the colors. Okay, so I'm gonna let go of the notes. I can get to those later. What I'm gonna do now is pick up some phthalo blue and white and work on my treble clef because I'm just dying to do that. So I'm gonna make sure my brush is clean. If you need to stop, like right now, and go and get some fresh water, you can. I know we're winding up towards the end, and I know people have other things to do, but hang in there because I have time to paint with you. So let's paint. But yeah, make sure your brush is nice and clean. And then I'm gonna go back to my phthalo blue palette.
Shoot.
And let's see, I think we'll go with the phthalo blue first because we have a lot of phthalo to cover. So we'll go in here and we'll go in here, but we're gonna start dark. We'll start dark and then go lighter. So let's start with our deep phthalo blue in here. Then we're gonna add white to it and go around, okay? So I've already got some phthalo blue on my palette. I'm gonna pick up some white. So like I have, this, put it to the side, always put it to the side. Then you can add as needed. Okay, never add one color directly to another, always put it to the side. And then just go ahead and mix some of that phthalo blue in there and white together. We want it lighter, so I can tell from the paint that's already on my palette that I need to go even lighter than this. I want lighter. I'm going to drop a couple of drops of water. Thank you for the fresh water, Shelby. And yeah, we're gonna go with this. Let's go one more shade higher of white. I'm gonna add some more. So it's kind of like a baby blue, because I want a big contrast between this color and the color that is currently on the canvas. So that's pretty bright, right? So I'm going to use my number 14 brush. I'm just going to flick off some of that baby blue and pick some of it up on both sides of my 14. So I got a nice consistency. It's real inky. I got to load it on both sides. Make sure it's saturated, that it's pigmented. You don't want it drippy and see-through. It has to be, like ink. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe off that excess. And now I'm ready to dig into some color here. So I'm gonna start right here, because we're just gonna make this darker. And again, I'm using that edge of my brush to help me make this straight line. Take your time and lift off the brush, decrease the pressure when you get close to the edges. And then turn, go to the other side, and use that brush again, the straight edge, and just pull it down that line. And let's kind of feather this, because we're going to go in with some blue later, some darker blue, but let's just feather that so it's not so hard to blend. And then we got a trivia question. What is considered the most poisonous fish in the ocean? Is it the great white shark, the lionfish, the stonefish, or the pufferfish? Which is considered the most poisonous of these fish?
Puffer.
Puffer, yeah.
Puffer. And I'm gonna keep coming around. A nice long thing in my brush so that my brush doesn't have to work too hard. Oh, did I just go out of the line? No.
Ah.
A little accident, as Bob Ross would always say. I don't know how happy it is. Sometimes they're not always. He was just the most optimistic person ever. You guys know who I'm talking about? Bob Ross.
Oh, Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Hello, Bob Ross.
My dude, Bob Ross.
My guy, he's hilarious.
I'm gonna erase this off. Yeah, we have a painting that's pretty popular that people like of his, well, of his style. It's not one of his paintings, though. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep taking that all the way around. I'm using my brush to help me with that straight line. How many taste buds does the tongue have? Is it 600, 2,000, 9,000, or 12,000? How many taste buds you got?
12,000.
That's what I was going to guess as well.
12,000. One. And now I'm going to go ahead and pick up some Phthalo Blue. I'm not even at the tip yet, but I'm antsy, so I'm going to go pick some up anyway, because I can't wait. So. And I'm just going to add it to my blue that's already on my brush, because they got to get married, these two colors. So I'm just going to push them together. Just going to push them together. And now I'm just going to pick up some pure Phthalo Blue. Start marrying them together. I went a little crazy here with edge. Okay, just have some self-control. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off that brush. And I'm gonna pick up some Phthalo Blue just by itself. And then I'm gonna keep going towards the top. And I'm lightening up my stroke because I don't want to push outside of my lines. And again, as I mentioned before, you're definitely going to want to hit this with another coat. Which nut is used to make dynamite? Is it almonds, pine nuts, peanuts, or walnuts? Which nut is used to make dynamite?
Well, I have walnuts in my backyard and I know they're super messy, so I'm going to go with that.
I was gonna pick that too, but I didn't have the same logic as you.
Almonds.
Natalie, what state are you in?
In Michigan.
Oh.
We have a big walnut tree in our backyard, but the rule is if you get hit with a falling walnut, you have to come inside and take a shot. It is
That's hilarious.
Wow, I did not think something like that would grow in the Midwest.
Oh.
Well, so do they bloom year round? Or
Yeah,
what?
interesting.
Do you have nuts year round?
No, it's usually just the fall.
Oh, just the fall. Huh.
Yeah, so they get real messy and they mix in with all the leaves. It's great.
Interesting.
But peanuts, huh? I never would have guessed.
In all my years, I've never thought about where walnuts come from. If they could grow on bushes or the ground or trees, like they're pretty heavy to be falling out of trees on people.
I never thought about peanuts making dynamite. So we both learned something today.
So talk about a distraction, right? Totally a distraction. All right. So now, I think I'll keep going with the red. So now, you know you've got red. So go ahead and take your palette knife. Let's get some red on the canvas. I'm going to go back to my black palette because it's less messy. And I'm going to pick up some red just by itself, put it down to the side. And I'm going to finish this edge off here with red, or the top of my treble clef with red. And again, remember, we always go into, we never put the color directly in. We always start and then merge into that color. So we're going to go around, lift and turn, and merge lightly into that color. So just lift off, less pressure, not heavy pressure, just real light. And then kind of try to push your red brush, your red paint brush, red paint into this blue so you get a purple. Just push your brush into that so you get a purple. You're kind of like raising that blue from the dead if it's already kind of dried up. You just want to wiggle your brush in there, really light pressure. See if you can't get some purple going. Now, going to the other side. Ooh, I like that. That looks pretty. Pretty colors. Okay, which astrological sign is the water bearer? Is it Pisces, Aquarius, Cancer, or Virgo? Which sign is the water bearer? Come on, water.
Aquarius.
For one side, agree with Jen. Aquarius.
Regina. You've been real quiet today.
I had to plug my phone up a little further away from where I was painting, so I couldn't talk a lot.
Oh.
You're probably happy about that, huh?
No, I miss your little digs at me. It's been a long time.
I know. I miss you too. I miss everybody.
So
I
do
know.
you guys all work in the same building together?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
now you don't get to see each other anymore.
10
No.
months.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're just, at least I'm excited just to see these people's faces.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So you haven't seen each other since the lockdown, right? Since you started working at home.
Yeah,
Mhm.
since March 13th.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
But so that's the negative. What's the positive about working from home?
Well, I said no. I figured out my second one. So my first one is I get to see my cats every day because everyone knows I love my cats and my husband. And then when it snowed, I realized that was my second reason I'm happy to work from home because we're not
Right?
in the snow.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. You know, it's like the holidays and like you looking at like everybody's got stuff on sale. Like, what are you buying that you're gonna wear anywhere?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of, I was looking at that the other day. I'm like, oh, that's so cute, but where am I wearing it? You know?
Where am I going? Nowhere.
Because I have to brand, you know, I have to wear my T-shirt with the logo on it. Although I don't know, maybe we have events on the 15th and 16th. Maybe I'll change up for that. I don't know. But anyway, the answer is Aquarius. Do they even
Aquarius.
All right, so here I definitely want to hit this with a coat of Phthalo Blue. But for now, that's what we got going here. Is very lightly touching in this Phthalo Blue all the way down to purple. We get to do purple next. So that will be exciting.
Struggling with this dot. I keep trying to make it even and it's just getting bigger and bigger.
It's getting bigger. Take over your painting. You know what you could do, Natalie?
Yeah.
Take a wet rag and start over.
Oh no.
Yeah, just if you feel like it's getting too big, just wipe it off. But
Okay.
wipe towards the center. You know? Like start at the edge and wipe towards the center.
Okay,
I
I'll
know
try
you can
it.
do
I'm
that.
trusting you.
Yellow.
I have to apply that to my whole painting.
Oh, Raquel.
Oh, it's a mess, guys.
Oh, stop. People always say that. Okay, so whoever just said that, I want you to stop right now and take a picture of your painting. Get your phones out, everybody. Get your phone out, and I want you to take a picture of your painting. Because what you're going to find is that you're being far too hard on yourself, and you'll be like, wow,
Nah.
I did that?
I'm being
I'm just going to tell everyone you have to send in pictures because they have to go on Pride next. So send us pictures.
Just really want to embarrass us in front of the whole company, Kim?
We embarrassed all the other teams that did it too. So yes.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Oh yes.
Which
Yes.
other team did they do?
Did you work with Roxanne Servey, back-end servicing?
I can't remember. What painting did they do?
Oh gosh, one group I think got to pick their own paintings, and another one I can't remember.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure though that that Cynthia worked with you on all of them.
Yeah.
I think it was like a winter scene or something like that with like snowflakes and a swing or something.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't me.
No, maybe not. Maybe it was something
Yeah, I
else.
can't remember.
Yeah. But at any rate, yeah, we take a picture at the end of everything, and we don't shame you. Actually, your pictures always turn out better than you think they will. So lighten up on yourselves and take your picture, and then you'll see what a fine job you've done. Now I'm picking up some of that purple that you got, putting it down. And I'm gonna just pick up some with my blue, leave the blue that I have already on my my brush. And I'm just gonna start following that around with the tip of my brush, light strokes, because you'll go out of the lines right away if you press down too hard. So you're just really light strokes. And follow that around to the end of your note. And our trivia question is, what is the best state in the Midwest?
Michigan.
Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, or Ohio?
Ohio.
Michigan.
Michigan.
Sorry, Raquel.
I had to say it.
That's okay.
Ohio. Okay, just kidding. It's Michigan.
My
Now,
neighbor's
I
got
wanna
her
know the
Ohio
criteria on which this is based. That's what I want to know. Is this Shelby criteria? What? Because you know she just
Michiganians hate Ohio.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. Oh, okay. Because she's from Michigan.
Well,
People from Michigan hate people from Ohio.
not necessarily. It's more of the college thing.
That was harsh.
I wouldn't say we hate people from Ohio.
Thanks.
All right. So look, I had a little bit of blue. That was a happy accident. Did you see that? That is cool. So I had a little bit of blue left on my brush and it translated. Can you zoom in on that a little bit? So it kind of moved into the purple and it worked out really well. It was a happy accident. That's what he looked like. All right. So that makes me want to dip into a little bit of blue and put some more blue on it. I like that. What happened? I like it a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to, now the really fun part is outlining all your stuff. So see how I did with the treble clef? I went in with the, now you would definitely want to use either the 12 brush or a Sharpie. You can use a Sharpie for these. You can use a Sharpie for these, and you can use a Sharpie for tiny notes over there. Okay, so yes, I stopped right there just because I wanted to use black, I think. I'm one of those painters that if I get bored, I just move from one little section to another. So that's okay, because it's supposed to be enjoyable. You're not supposed to get bored while you're painting, right? So you move around to what you think is more enjoyable in terms of the painting. So I'm overlapping another color of another layer of phthalo blue here. And actually, I can make this tip of this treble clef kind of phthalo blue and black. I'm switching it up a little bit, which you have told Frida to do so as well. I'm going to add a little black to the tip of my treble clef. Oh, okay, this is a good one. So what condiment was sold in the 1830s as medicine? Was it soy sauce, ranch dressing, maple syrup, or ketchup?
I'm going to say maple syrup.
We got a maple syrup.
I think that's a good guess.
Second for the maple syrup. Any other guesses? No.
Oh, ketchup. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, he was a snake salesman, this guy, right? Mm-hmm. He was telling everybody that, you know, he could cure colds and all kinds of stuff with this ketchup. But of course it did absolutely nothing. And then, yeah, he just mixed tomatoes and water and was selling it. And then people, I guess they, you had to take it, right? You were drinking, by the spoonful, they're like, this tastes kind of good.
This be medicine.
So that's how it evolved into ketchup, because it was first sold as medicine. And it had no medicinal value, but it sure did taste good. So here we are. All right. You going around, and actually, see, I'm changing this up a little bit, which you can too. So I just decided I wanted some black in here on the edge. All right. So, let me do the baby blue, and then we're almost done. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm going to use this like baby blue, but I think I'm going to lighten it even more and put it right here. And then we're going to outline. You can take your Sharpie and outline. And I'm going to pick up some white, add it to my already pretty light blue. And I'm going to add some water so it has a nice consistency. Okay, and this question is, which hip hop duo used the line, "Shake it like a Polaroid picture"? Was it the Goody Mob, the Black Eyed Peas, Organizers, Noise, or Outkast?
I think it was Outkast.
Polaroid picture.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got that one wrong.
That was the song. Outkast. All right. So I'm just using it straight edge again. I got that lighter color coming up.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to go now. I have about another hour's worth of work.
Hi, Regina.
But I wanted to share my picture with you guys. Can you see it?
Oh, sure. And can we take a picture with Regina before she goes? Can we take a quick picture? You guys, I know you're almost done because I'm taking it slow.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's take a picture with Regina before she goes, okay? Hold on. I'm getting my camera ready, and so I can get everybody up. Anybody want to hold theirs up? Come on, even if it's not ready. Okay, cool. Good job. Ooh, nice color. Very nice. All right, I got quite a few, so you're good. Okay, Regina.
All right. Alexa, continue.
Monica, we're going to come back in a minute, so we're going to take another picture in a minute.
And I have this for you too.
Nice.
Bye. Thanks a lot.
Bye. Oh, the other Stairway to Heaven.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye, everybody.
Hey. Bye. Oh, good. All right. Forgot about that version of it. All right, so I'm going in and I'm finishing up that curve right here. And again, it's going to take me using just the edge of my brush. You guys that have your number 12 brush, I should demo this to you because I have been trying to use 12 exclusively. I mean, the 14. So basically, I'm just going to twirl that 14. That's how you get that point, is you have to twirl this brush to keep the point intact. Okay? So we're going to get it all saturated with that color. Then we twirl it between the thumb and the forefinger, and then we'll get that point. And you can just go in like this, and then it's just like having, you know, a fine tip brush. So. Okay. I'm gonna go in here. So, ooh, look how much brighter these colors look when you get that second layer going. Like, your painting does not have to be exactly like mine. This is an abstract, So however you make this personal, you're making it yours. So feel free to, when you go back for your second, do what you feel. Do what your paintbrush wants you to do. Because like I said, it's like Shelby, tonight is Friday night. It's like big party night for us. We get to actually really paint and drink wine, so it's actually super enjoyable. Most of the time we're in the dungeon down there packing kits, slinging bags over our shoulders at the post office. But it's fun. And every now and then we make a mistake, Monica. So again, my apologies, and we'll show you how to get the most out of your two number 14s and make those bad boys work. Ooh, look at that. It's such a nice color. So now we got a good contrast going between that number earth, that dark blue, and the lighter blue. And what, who was that? Jen, earlier you were doing some color blending, you know, kind of flashing out using your strokes. That's
all I know how to do.
Really kind of nice technique to use to merge the colors together. Okay, so I got my music notes, and like right here I did this extra line. I mean, I could go ahead and put some more green here if I wanted to, but I encourage you to go ahead and sign your painting. My purple is a little dark. I would hit this again with a lighter purple, because as you can see here, this one is a little brighter. I like that. It's probably because I added some white to it. So you can do the same thing with your purple. Just add a teeny tiny bit of white to brighten it up. And then let's see, outlining. Yeah, so you would take your number 14, Monica, you want to grab a Sharpie. I mean, even people who have a number 12, you want to grab a Sharpie, because that's if you're not accustomed to using a paintbrush as a writing tool, it's just like in the old days when there used to be a profession of people, well, I think there probably still are, who just, that's all they do is lettering. So your paint has to be the right consistency, your pressure has to be exact. It's not easy. So, but you would start, if you wanted to try, with your number 12 brush like this, and you would twirl it in the paint. Make sure the color is saturated, not running and see-through. Test it out. Twirl it so you got that point, and then you'd go in and you'd start making those lines like this. Just the very tip of the brush, real nice and slow. You felt like you needed more water or more ink, or I'm sorry, more paint on the tip of the brush. Go back. Combination of water and paint to make these lines. But the best way is a Sharpie. Get yourself a Sharpie and make these lines. So it takes you some practice. You want to do it, you know, get a piece of paper out and test your lines. But you can only do this if you twirl that brush, get that point, just use the last two hairs on that brush. Don't put any pressure, none. Okay, I say none, but you need some. But it's better to start with none than too much. And then you just slowly drag it along those lines. It looks like I need more water in my brush. Okay, I'm so busy looking at them that I don't have my screen up, so I can't see the trivia. Oh, there it is. Okay, which celebrity is not from Michigan? This is a new question just for you Michigan folks. Is it Tim Allen, Madonna, Brad Pitt, or Terry Crews? Who is not from Michigan?
I'm going to say Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
That's a good, yeah, I go with Brad Pitt. I agree.
I agree too. And I don't know the answer to this. So. Yay!
Nice.
We were right. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, we're going to drink to the
Brad
right.
Pitt is from Missouri, my home state.
Really?
What was that? Oh, he is?
Brad Pitt is from Missouri, my home state.
Oh, nice.
All right, see you
What
later.
about
I have
you?
to go, everybody. It was super fun. Thanks.
Oh, okay, Monica. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait, let's get your picture before you go. Hold on. One more time, you guys, because you can give us a status update on your painting. One more time.
Okay.
Hold them up. And let me open
I still have to add my notes.
Okay, because these are all good, because Cynthia want to see all these. Yay.
Oh, wow. You just did a great job.
Colors, Megan. Oh, those are pretty. Nice. Good job, you guys. Did you think this painting was hard?
No, but I'm learning my light in this room is awful. I could not see the lines that I traced. I'm like trying to go like this.
Oh, but you did a good
Sorry,
job.
I can blame it on the lighting. Okay.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
All right. So yeah, so I'm just gonna keep going around my lines. Pressing just a little bit.
I have to hop now too. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, okay. Bye, Kim.
Yep, I'm gonna jump off, guys. Go have dinner with the birthday boy. Thank you so much. This was fun.
Oh, okay. Are we losing everybody? Should we wrap this up? I'll go ahead and wrap it up because it's 15 minutes after. Okay. We usually say 2 to 2.5 hours, but if people have to run, I don't want to hold everybody up. But I have enjoyed painting with you as well. And Kim and everyone else, thank you for coming. And again, yeah, just go ahead and sign your paintings and we'll take a group photograph together one more time. And so everybody who is incognito and off camera, oh wait, a lot of people left already. It's just my core group here. Mm-hmm. You guys want to still paint? Or do you have to go? I'm good for painting.
In a second here, so.
Yeah, I gotta log off too very soon.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll take a picture and then we'll let you guys go. So we are so happy to have painted with you tonight. I loved your energy. We had a good time with you. Let's see. We'll do one more shot then. We'll do one more shot and or maybe not. Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm trying to close some windows here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Why am I can't see myself. I can't see what's, oh, there we go. Okay, I see you now. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, I will let you go because, okay, we're good. So you guys, if you want to follow us on Facebook, we're there. If you want to see us on Instagram, we're there. I encourage you to hashtag Studio928 so that you can enter our contest that we're having this year. It's for a party for 4 of a paint party. So if you do that and share your work with me, that would be awesome. So I'll say so long and have a great holiday. And if you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with us on any of those social media platforms. And thanks a lot. And you guys take care, okay?
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Take care.